we go to Hollywood.
We suck again!
Marvel uses Robert Downey Jr. to sell Ironheart ahead of its Disney Plus release.
Weird.
And explains why she, the character, is more remarkable than Tony Stark.
Are you retarded?
I'm Jasper Gonzo on this. When asked about why the support for a character that has no connection to Tony Stark whatsoever, Robert Downey Jr. said, hey, because I got paid. Well, that's good enough for me.
Woo!
And it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Thursday. We're going to lighten it up a little bit. Normally, I am like straight on political. We're just going to lighten it up a bit. We're going to go to Hollywood. Remember Marvel? You know, the MCU? You know, the Thanos saga? You know, you had 20 plus films over a 10-year period, which basically chronicled everything from Iron Man all the way through up until Endgame, you know, battling against Thanos, you know. It was great. You know, you had a couple of hiccups in the way, with Thor, Dark World, and Ultron, and the hideous Captain Marvel. But anyway, it was a great story arc. So now, after several failures, multiple failures from Marvel over the last 5 to 6 years, with movies tanking left, right, and center, their streaming service, Disney Plus, hasn't done any better. Multiple shows, from Loki to Hawkeye to Falcon and Winter Soldier, have all failed. So what's next? Well, they're preparing for Ironheart. Yes, the next incarnation of Iron Man to take place. So what better person to endorse, to support this great character, her character's name is Riri, by the way, than Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr. Gee, I wonder why he's doing this. Money! Sorry about that. And here we go. This comes out of that dark place. That park place, excuse me. Marvel uses Robert Downey Jr. to sell Ironheart ahead of its Disney Plus release, explains why Riri is more remarkable than Tony Stark. I know. Stop laughing. Yeah, that's Riri. Again, stop laughing. Marvel is invoking the name of Robert Downey Jr. in an attempt to justify its upcoming Ironheart series. Marvel's Ironheart is gearing up to close out Phase 5 of the hideous and ridiculous MCU on Disney Plus, and the studio appears to be going in full damage control mode ahead of the premiere. Despite fans still scratching their heads over her inclusion in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which of course there's no connection, surprise, Marvel is now rolling out legacy name drops, strategic comparisons, and emotional appeals in a thinly veiled attempt to build hype and legitimacy for a show that few or no one asked for. A spiritual successor with no actual link? In a new feature with Empire, Dominic Thorne, who plays Riri Williams, Ironheart, recounted a brief encounter with Robert Downey Jr., described their interaction as exciting, an exchange where the actor gave her a few words of encouragement and literal 2 thumbs up, their story being framed by Marvel as some kind of symbolic torch-passing moment, with articles declaring Riri and Tony Stark to be spiritually linked in the MCU. Just one problem. There's no actual link. Tony Stark died in the Avengers Endgame before Riri Williams was even in a glimmer of anyone's eye. Her character did not exist at the time of Endgame. They never met. They have shared no screen time, no story overlap, no established relationship in the films. Calling them spiritually connected is pure marketing spin and a way for Marvel to claim legacy without earning it. It's also a way to reassure fans that Iron Man approves of his replacement, even though that replacement is arriving with little or no narrative weight that made Stark iconic. Dumpster diving over a billionaire's brilliance. Nice. Then there's the quote that's raising eyebrows. Thorne compared her character's background with Tony Stark's. Quote, she's dumpster diving where Tony Stark was this billionaire. What she's able to accomplish is remarkable. Yes, because Tony wasn't a billionaire before he had all these thoughts in his head. Nah. At first glance, it's meant to emphasize Riri's resourcefulness. resourcefulness, but dig a little deeper, and it reads like an unnecessary and frankly dismissive contrast. Stark's origin story didn't begin in a Manhattan skyscraper. He built his first suit while kidnapped in a cave with shrapnel near his heart, using scrap metal and pure genius to survive. His wealth wasn't a shortcut. It was part of a larger arc about responsibility, sacrifice, and redemption. For those of you who did not see the first Iron Man, yeah, he did his first suit in a fucking cave. By framing Tony as a spoiled billionaire to contrast the gritty and remarkable Riri, Marvel seems to be engaging in the same messaging we've seen before, propping up new heroes by downplaying the old ones. Instead of letting Ironheart stand on her own, which she can't, clearly, the narrative is that she's more authentic because she comes from less. It's a tired playbook, and one that's turning off longtime fans. The real problem? Ironheart was never organic. Riri Williams' origin appearance in Wakanda Forever was widely viewed as forced. Gee, just like a certain Captain Marvel. With many critics and fans noting that her inclusion, yes, diversity, inclusion, equity, felt like a Disney Plus backdoor pilot was more than a natural fit for the story. Now her standalone series is being, Now her standalone series is being marketed with borrowed nostalgia, legacy hand-me-downs, and vague platitudes. Let's watch this clip. This is Wakanda Forever. You know, the show that T'Challa wasn't in because he passed away. Anyway. The official synopsis describes Riri as returning to Chicago after Wakanda, where she would face off against Parker Robbins, aka The Hood, a character powered by dark magic. Meanwhile, Disney Plus is positioning Ironheart as a climactic ending to Phase 5, even though the hype just isn't there. It's hard to shake the feeling that Marvel knows this and is trying to salvage interest by reminding audiences of Iron Man without actually giving them Iron Man. Legacy can't be manufactured. Marvel used to let characters earn their place through years of storytelling, growth, and audience connection. That's how Legacy used to work. The Ironheart is being treated like a plug-and-play replacement for Iron Man. No build-up, no meaningful link, just a checklist and a marketing push. This isn't about evolving the MCU, it's about swapping out iconic heroes with undeveloped substitutes and hopefully a few name drops that will sell it. Riri Williams didn't train under Tony Stark. She didn't inherit anything from him. And yet Marvel wants audiences to accept that she's the natural continuation of his legacy simply because she built a suit. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The fact of the matter is that Ironheart was a joke as soon as the conception came to be. There is no scratching of heads. There is just disbelief that you could take a character who had no connections to Tony Stark whatsoever in any way, shape, or form, and then just plug her in and say, hey, look, even Robert Downey Jr. supports it. No. The fact of the matter is this show is going to be trashed. It's going to be trash because just like all the other Disney Plus shows, they're trash. They got away from the one thing that makes these characters great. Canon, respectability, honesty, tradition, legacy. That is what these characters bring. These new characters, you just dismiss them. They're just throwaways. They're just forced in. They're just shoehorned. Like I said with Captain Marvel, she got forced in between two bookends in Marvel's final legacy in Thanos, and yet you're supposed to agree that, yeah, she belonged there. No, she never did. Just like Riri Williams. She doesn't belong in Tony Stark's legacy or his arc or anything. And for Robert Downey Jr. to give, 2 thumbs up as encouragement to say, hey, you can do the show, go ahead. Not to say, hey, you're taking over for me. Yeah, that is a huge, huge stretch. But that's just me. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Borganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this, please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.